Hello, and welcome again to yet another episode of the I Am series podcast. Today, our episode is going to be focusing on one major virtue and an important attribute that we can give ourselves through life to move forward in our life. And today, we're going to be talking about courage. I Am Courage is our topic today, and my guest is Helen. Helen, I always leave the room for my guests to introduce themselves. So it would be great if you can tell our audience who you are and how we know each other. I'd like that. I always tell them how we know each other because it's always a very personal and very interesting story that falls really within the topics that we talk about in the I Am series podcast. So, hi, Helen.
Hi, Maysoon.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Very good, very good.
My name is Helen Abi Aad. I'm a coach, life coach, NLP, master NLP life coach, master hypnotherapist, law of attraction practitioner, sign language practitioner, art therapist.
Wow.
Dot, dot, dot.
Dot, dot, dot.
Dot, dot, dot.
You remind me. So you're like those people we go to when we want to have a session, and then we can see all these certificates on your wall, or you don't use them?
No, I don't use my certificate. I use my talents.
Nice.
So when you'll visit me, you'll see my talent and you will interact with me.
Okay, that's amazing. It's very
Just
interesting.
to be yourself.
Yeah. And
no recliners. Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
No recliners. No serious talks. Just
only you and the person who comes to you.
Of course,
Yeah.
yes.
This is how it goes, right? Even in life,
Sure.
what we do is, I personally follow the flow of however things come to me. And I'm also someone who has very similar interests, certificates, if you want to call them. No, but very similar focuses in how I help people and how I support people. And the certificates are the last thing really that I talk about or care about.
Yes.
But in our practice, sometimes people need to hear some kind of validation for them, not really for us, when they start their journey of self-discovery. And to move in that direction, it takes a lot of courage, which is the topic we're talking about today.
Yeah.
So I know from your personal experience that you went through so many different changes in your life.
Yes.
And that's why when we were talking earlier and I was telling you, let's focus on courage, and it kept on coming to me, the message that, this episode's going to be about courage, because I know how many changes you have done in your life and how each one of them took a lot of courage from you to do.
Yeah.
Can we share a little bit of that experience?
Yeah.
And how courage helped you, really?
Actually, now when speaking, it came to my mind that since the beginning, before I start my journey in coaching, when I was in early 20s, I moved to Dubai. That was the first move, and it was so courageous for me because I was still young, fresh graduate. I came here and I was alone with my husband, of course, but I didn't have any friends, any relatives. I moved here and I was pregnant, alone, to deliver here alone.
Wow.
And then I established my life here with my family, my new family, my kids and my husband. And then we decided to move after 11 years to Lebanon. Again. During my journey here in Dubai, I was very well, let's say, known in events. I had so many achievements. I was happy. Let's say happy between brackets, because I was happy with my achievements. But I didn't know by that time it was my achievements that I was happy about. Then I moved to Lebanon, totally new place for me, regardless that my big family is there and friends, but totally new, different experience. And I had 2 kids. I had to adapt there and help them adapt in a different environment, entire new world, which is different than Dubai, of course. I had to change even my career, moving from somewhere I was a manager in a very huge, big company to another company working in a different field, and I had to adapt again, and it wasn't easy at all. At all, and doing something that I really don't like, and it was not me. And then I start looking at the mirror. Everyone is happy around me. I'm helping everyone to be happy. My kids are adapting. The family is happy, but I'm not. I'm not happy. What do I want? What really Helen really wants? Then here I started my journey. That helped me, and it really needs courage. And here when I say courage doesn't mean the physical courage.
Yes.
Because some people misunderstood courage. They think courage is physical.
Yeah.
Actually, courage is not only physical. It's emotional, it's sociable, it's intellectual, it's at workplace you need to be courage. So it took me a lot of courage in all these fields, actually, to move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, to take the decision to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's very important, you mentioned adapt several times.
Yes.
And adaptation is one of the things that we actually, it's a result of being courageous and having the courage to move from one place to another in your life, irrelative of what the move is. The idea is that change itself takes courage, right?
Of course.
And for you to be able to, even for myself, any of my other guests would tell you the exact same thing. For them to change their life from one thing to another, that's where the courage was required. And like you rightfully say, courage is not a physical action.
No.
Courage really starts from within. It cannot be, and it's not something, like I always tell my clients that they can be courageous and they have the power to be courageous. But no matter what I say, if they don't go within and grab that courage from inside of them, they won't be able to really feel the courage that I can see in them. And you as a coach, I'm sure that when you have your clients with you, when they come to you, you can also see the courage that lies within them, where they cannot really see it. Why do you think that is?
Because sometimes we're so comfortable in our comfort zone that we don't want even to move. We're so comfortable, and we're used to the pain or to the situation that we're in, that we adapt in it, that we refuse to move. Even though we can see on the other side, it's brighter. Yeah, but we don't have the courage, we don't have, and it needs as well, not only to move from the comfort zone, to love ourselves. Once we start loving ourselves and we value ourselves, so we will have the courage. It will come automatically to move on. Once we value ourselves, I say, no, I don't want this. Because I really deserve better.
Yeah.
Because I'm a better person.
I love that you say, no, I don't want this.
No, I don't want,
One of the most difficult things to do in life is to say no.
Yes.
Especially to others.
Yeah.
You know? And saying no, my God, I think this episode is going to be very big.
It needs courage to say no.
Exactly.
It needs courage.
100%. So if I'm going to say no to anything that is outside of me, and I always insist that when we talk about this, we're always talking about the things that are beyond our control, right?
Yes.
Because whatever is within our control, once we get to a place where we own our power, we can say no to anything.
Of course.
Because saying no is actually within our control. It's not something that is not related to us. It's not something that is coming from the circumstances that we have in our life. It's actually an act that only we can control. Am I right?
Of course, setting boundaries And saying no, it's a choice.
Yeah.
And you have to reach to the point to say, no, I don't want. And it's better, it's more preferable, actually, to start saying no without going through a depression. But most of the people, unfortunately,
Yeah.
don't say no unless they went through hell and coming back.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
I always say the same thing. And
Yeah.
this is why we are here actually today, to give some, to shed some light on the fact that we can start changing without having to go through
Exactly.
the hurdles and the hassles
Yeah.
and the breakdowns and the hurts and the depression, like you
Yes.
rightfully mentioned, to change and start, grabbing everything that we already have and realizing that we
Yeah.
have this power and we have this force within us that allows us to say no
To say no.
and to love our, I mean, for me the act of saying no is the number one result of loving ourselves.
Self-love, yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
And this is the most important thing, to love ourselves. And here we start. Once we start loving ourselves, leaving our comfort zone, having the courage to leave the comfort zone, loving ourselves. And here, some people misunderstand and take like loving ourselves, it's like
Selfish.
being, yes, selfish, which is not. Which is not. If you have an empty cup, and I'm telling you, please, I need to drink. I'm thirsty. Can you give me water?
Of course not.
Of
I
course
don't have
not.
water
You
to
don't
give
have
you.
water to give me. So if you don't love yourself, how are you going to love me, right? How are you going to love the people around you, your family, your colleagues, your friends?
Yeah.
Since you don't love yourself.
Yeah. I always use the example of
Yeah.
the airplane, right? When the
Yes.
hostesses explain that
Yeah.
if God forbids anything happens, you have to put your oxygen
yeah.
mask on first before you help others.
Of
Because
course.
how will you be able to help anyone around you if
you can't help yourself
if
first,
you're not there?
Yeah.
Because if you don't put the mask,
Yeah.
you'll probably disappear,
yeah,
right? You will be
unconscious
dead,
and-
God
yeah.
forbid, again. But then, how can I? There is a very interesting saying in Arabic, and I'm going to say it in Arabic. فاقد الشيء لا يعطيه. Meaning, if you want to give something that you don't have, you cannot
You
give it.
cannot.
How can you give it if you don't
Yes.
even have it?
Yes.
That's the exact translation of this proverb
Exactly.
that's in Arabic one. So it talks exactly to the same example that you gave about the glass of water, which is
Yeah.
empty. I give also the same example of women who are always, then I focus on women because they are always taking care of their kids, they are always taking care of the household, they're always and they're always tired, and they're always and they say, no, but I have to be there for my kids, I have to give them love, I have to give
I
them
don't have
happiness,
time for myself,
I
I
have
don't-
zero time for myself, thank you very much. And then if you have zero time for yourself, guess what? With time, you will have zero time. Full stop.
Because you will teach them how to love you. The way you love yourself, you will teach others how to love you. The way you take care of yourself, you will teach others how to take care of you.
I love that. And also you will teach them how to do it for
For
themselves,
themselves,
as well.
yes, of course.
Yeah.
You will
So-
teach your daughter and son, your daughter how to love herself, and your son how to respect and love his wife later on.
I love that.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
So what you're saying here is the way you treat yourself is the way that you come across, basically, right? And I always say, I used to say, I want people to treat me the way I treat them, right?
Yeah.
I used to say that because I know I treat people well, but what if I'm a person who doesn't treat people well, right? If I reflect that on myself, then people will treat me bad if I treat them bad. So with time and with my knowledge and with my work on myself, I changed that saying to, I treat people, or people will treat me the way I treat myself. So if I love myself, everyone around me will have no choice
Yeah.
but to love me. If
Of
I
course.
respect myself,
Yes.
everyone around me will have no choice but to respect me. And the
Yes.
same thing applies to everything.
Yeah.
So if I'm not good to myself, everyone around me will not be good to me, because that's exactly what I'm telling them. So
Yes.
if I come to you and I am always nagging and unhappy, guess what? Every time you're going to be around me, you're going to be nagging, you're going to be unhappy, you're going to reflect that on me, because that's what I'm asking you to do
Yes.
subconsciously without even knowing. And you talk about something also very important. You say people are afraid to get out of their comfortable zone.
Yes.
Of their comfort zone. And I always ask people, and this always brings this aha moment in their mind. I ask them, can you describe to me how comfortable is your comfort zone? And most of the time, they come back with this, oh my God, my comfortable zone is, my comfort zone is not actually comfortable.
Yes.
I'm in pain, I'm in hurt, I'm thinking negative all the time. Nothing is happening for me in this life, the way I'm leading my life. So this is really very uncomfortable.
And I'm still willing to dwell in the same negativity circle instead of breaking the circle and going outside to another new world.
Yeah.
I'm repeating the same negative experience
Because
I'm dwelling there.
Yeah, but that
I'm
takes
comfortable. Playing the victim role.
Yeah, we play the victim
the
role
victim
because we
role,
don't have the
yes.
courage to move forward.
Yes.
Or to, and I think here this is where the probably the scariest thing lies, is for us to move forward, we have to be accepting of whatever has happened,
Yes.
of our past. And this is, I think, where the scariest thing happens with us, or where we face that fear. Like, how can I ignore whatever happened in the past? And the key here is not to ignore, is actually to accept and
Yes.
to learn.
To learn.
Not just to accept.
Yeah. Playing the victim role actually is nice. It's comfortable. Yeah, you
Because
get the
people will
attention.
get-
You get the attention.
Of course.
Yeah, everyone will start, emphasizing, saying, "Oh, he's the victim,"
And let's help, and let's be
help,
there.
and then you get all the attention for sometimes. Not all time, not for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Actually, later on, people will get bored, and then we're gonna leave because they have to live their
Yeah.
lives, and you're gonna stay alone, playing
we
the victim role. But what about being the hero of your life?
Tell me. You tell me. What about it?
This is adorable.
Yeah.
Instead of being the victim, so let's be the hero. We are the writer
Yes.
of our stories, the director of our lives. Yeah. Whatever we think of, people that don't know that, some people actually with the awareness happening now, they started to know that the power of our thought actually. We have to learn how to think.
Yes.
Yeah, instead of dwelling in the negativity, playing the victim role, and then being negative all the time, and then we stay dwelling in the same circle, we can break the circle. Just break the thought when it starts. We love the self-sabotage. We adore that.
Yeah.
It's so comfortable,
I think it's more of we are used to it.
Because we're raised.
Yeah, we were raised in a way where we were told that,
not
you
to
have
love
to be,
ourselves, and the self-sabotage.
you have to always be there for
others.
And you have to stay, these are our traditions,
Yes.
this is our culture, and you
What
have
people
to be
will
conformed.
say about us.
Exactly, it's always about
it's not
them.
it's about people.
Yeah.
I don't care what they say about me. Let
Yeah.
them be in my shoes for 1 hour.
Yeah.
Will they be able to handle? No.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why should I care?
Yeah.
Why
Well,
should I care?
again, why should we care? We
Yeah.
care because that's how we were raised.
We were raised, yes.
Because we care because this is how we have been conditioned all our
Yes.
life.
Yeah.
And to go back to your point, about the thoughts and us being the writers of our story,
Yeah.
we have to remember that this is the fact. Many of us, and I'm so happy that we are doing this because these days we can talk about this. I mean, if we go back in time, when people used to talk about this, they used to call them crazy, or they used to call them, this is a lunatic. What
Look
do you
at
mean
her,
change,
yeah.
change your thoughts? Or what do you mean you
Yeah.
cannot say no to your parents? How do you say no to you? They are your parents. They brought you to this world. Guess what? I chose them to bring me to this world. They didn't bring me just like that. And there's this fine line between knowing and really learning and
Yes.
accepting and being that person who's just driven by everything around us and you know, focusing on whatever society tells us to do. And I speak about it also when I speak about, especially these days when we have social media and the guidance that we get from social media, which is very far from who we are really. And I love that at least there are algorithms in social media that will show you the things that you are interested in. So for me,
Yes.
for example, if this is what I want, if I want to cultivate myself, if I want to grow, if I want to have the courage to change my life, and I voice that out,
Yes.
at least that algorithm works for me and it shows me more and more
More
of
and
this
more, yeah.
content. But if we look at the other content that's available out there, the content that is telling us that we have to be perfect, that we have to always be
Perfect body, the perfect shape.
exactly, and
Yeah.
then especially for women, it becomes, and now even men. I mean,
And even
and I've
for
seen it
teenagers,
happen.
this is really crucial.
And you have teenagers, so you would
Yeah.
know. I don't have children, but you in
This
your
is very
personal
crucial,
life,
yeah.
you have teenagers, and you know how much this affects. And if we,
course.
as individuals, starting from ourselves, because we are in a place where we can make that difference, we can make that change. If we don't start by having our courage built, and not built because it's already there.
It's already there.
Right?
But
It's
you
just
have to stand up for
tapping into it.
yourself. Stand up for yourself and say no. Even for social media and digital platforms nowadays, the bullying are happening there for the kids. And, you know, the cases of suicide that we're facing, it's much, much higher than before.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So-
I see. I don't even go there because once you tap into that, that's
Yes, of course,
another story
yes.
as well. But it's very important that we remind the audience that you guys have all the power. You have the tools are within you, and it always takes, or it only takes, a moment of recognition or a moment of remembering that I am the owner of this whole vessel to
Yeah.
start with. And then I am the owner of whatever this vessel wants to create in its surrounding, in its life. And that includes the people that we have in our life, the job that we have in our life, the changes that we make in our life. All of this is done by us. It's
Of
not
course.
something that is really imposed on us. We can say, no, culture imposed this on me, or I live this way because the culture is this way.
Yeah.
But then again, this is my choice. I can choose to follow the culture, and I can be courageous and decide to take a different path
Yeah.
and go in the direction where, just like you did, you changed your life
Yeah.
from Lebanon to Dubai,
Dubai.
then from Dubai to Lebanon, and then again from Lebanon,
Lebanon
to
to
Dubai.
Dubai.
And then God knows
Yeah.
how you want to move forward,
Yes.
but you're always changing. And how is that helping you? How did it change your life? That courage that you took on.
Yeah.
How did it change your life? Because I really want our audience to know that when you take that step, there are, look, nothing is always golden, right?
Yes,
There
of
are
course.
always hurdles. There will
Yeah.
always be sorrow. There will always be pain. But then
Of course.
Is
But
this
you
what
have-
we want to focus on?
But you have to use the pain,
Mm.
yeah, to
To-
reach wherever you want to reach, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, it was not easy for sure for me to move from a place to another and start from the beginning. But it helped me grow, and I'm so grateful
Yeah.
for each and every step I did, for all the people around me, the toxic people and the people who were supporting me, because each one of them played their role in my life and helped me to grow,
Yeah.
to understand myself, to know myself, to get back to myself, you know, to know my abilities, my talents. I didn't know that I was able to write. I'm a writer, actually. Before, when I was in Dubai, like 11
She
years
has a
in
book,
Dubai.
by the way.
Yes,
We
I'm
didn't talk
publishing
about that.
a book, and I wrote 2 theater plays, actually, that we performed them. And the third one, we couldn't perform because of the COVID and the political situation in Lebanon. So we had to postpone it, and then it's still not done. But we had, I wrote and directed 2 theater plays, plus my book, that I really didn't know that I'm able to write, that I know how to write, and in Arabic as well.
How much courage did it take you to
It took
finish
me.
the book?
It took me 10 years. 10 years.
I know, because we spoke about the book a long time ago.
Yeah. Everyone, they thought that I'm writing a book that it's a new. No, it's not new. I wrote that book like 10 years back.
What happened in those 10 years from this aspect specifically that got you to a place where you had the courage to finally complete it and finish it?
Actually, I started it, but I wasn't. I didn't have the confidence, and I didn't trust myself. I always doubted myself, even though whoever read my book, actually my writings before being a book, and the teacher that was trying to correct what I'm writing, and he was really surprised that he didn't correct anything, just a little, from here and there.
Yeah.
Even though I was really shocked. I was really shocked. And then it took me some time to love myself and trust myself, and
I love that you say that, because, every time I speak to any of my clients or even my friends or anyone, they always tell us, and I'm sure you face the same thing, that as coaches, but it's easier said than done, and talking about it is easy, but, doing it is not easy. And I always tell them, it's really what you tell yourself. Just change the story in your mind. So if you tell yourself that it's going to be difficult, guess what? It's going to be difficult.
It's going to be difficult, of course.
And if you tell yourself it's going to be easy, or it is easy, and I always speak in the present tense, because the only time that we actually own is the now,
Present.
and the
Our
present.
present.
If we dwell in the past, that's exactly what we're
gonna
doing.
stay
We're
there.
dwelling.
Yeah.
We're sitting there. We're living there. We're existing there.
Yes.
And we're letting the present slip away. We're not even living the present moment if we are always dwelling. But what I wanted to say here is that even us, as coaches, or as people who are in a place to help others or to support others, we've been through our
We went
own
through a lot.
share
Yes.
of experience,
Of
of
course.
diving, of falling, of standing back up.
Yes.
I was in a depression for all I didn't even realize.
Yes.
I was in a depression until later, when I started working on myself, and I'm like, oh my God, I was actually in a depression and I didn't even know.
Yes.
Right? And that applies to everyone around us.
Yes.
We have worked on ourselves to be who we are today.
course.
And this is what we're
Worked
trying
a
to
lot,
tell.
Actually, a lot. It took me a lot of studies, a lot of time. I cried a lot.
And
I
there's
cried
no
a
harm
lot.
in that.
No, there's no harm. I cry publicly. I'm
Yeah.
not ashamed. I'm
Yeah.
not ashamed. Yeah.
And you should, and I don't see why you should be,
I'm
because
not.
at the
I'm
end
a
of
human
the day,
being.
Thank you.
And even though I'm now a coach, but I'm still a human being.
Yeah, I still cry until today.
Yes.
If something...
There's no shame.
And not only that, Helen,
Yeah.
I think it's very important to also tell our audience that for us to show our emotions, it actually takes a lot of courage.
To accept our emotion. This is
Not just accept
this is
and
the emotional,
showing.
emotional courage. This is emotional courage.
Yeah.
You have to accept, show, and then move on. You cannot stay in the same place, otherwise you cannot move on.
Exactly.
If you stay in the grief, you have to grieve.
Yes.
You have to. We're not saying just deny it and move on.
No.
It's easy, just deny it and move on. No.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, denying something actually is the opposite of being courageous.
Of course.
Because denial is the result of fear. It's the result of cowardness, because we don't want to face.
Not accepting yourself and what's happening around you. This is the denial.
Yeah, it's literally the opposite of courage.
Yes.
Because when you are in denial, it's the fact that you are not you, whoever, it's
you're running away.
Yeah, it's being a coward. Literally,
running away.
It's the opposite of being courageous and facing things head on. Although courage is not only facing things, it's really facing yourself. Number one.
This is number one.
Yeah.
Facing yourself. This is the emotional courage.
Okay.
Accept and face your feeling.
I want to give our audience a little bit of tips, because we always talk about what we can do and how we can do things. And as coaches, we know that it takes sometimes more than tips, but tips can really help. Yes. So what is a tip that we can give our audience today to start at least remembering that they can be courageous, they can take a step inwards and, think with themselves and ask themselves the big questions.
Do I deserve what's happening?
So what if somebody asks this question? What's a tip that they can? Because most of the time if we ask, and I always tell my clients or everyone that if you ask, you will always get the answers. But we don't know, when we ask, how to ask, and the right way to receive the answer. So can we give them a tip of what's the best way to ask these questions?
Always you should wonder. I really wonder. I really wonder.
And when you wonder, you
your subconscious mind will start working to give you all the answers that you need.
Okay.
And that you're
but
running
you
away
want to be
from.
in a certain space, or it doesn't matter? For me, it's always important that, for example, I'm not anxious, I'm not going through, maybe I am going through a difficult time, but not in that moment ask the question and expect an answer.
Yeah, you're not focused, that's why. But sometimes we're focused, we're anxious, we need answers, At that time, you just need to calm down.
Okay.
Everything is fine.
Okay.
Everything is fine. I'm fine. I'm safe. Okay. Everything is working for my own good. Whatever is happening is working for my own good. Just try to calm yourself. Okay. And then I wonder what's going to be the result. I wonder what will happen. I wonder
why something is the way it is, or something like that. Or I wonder, do I have the courage to move past this?
Yes, you have to wonder. But first you have to calm yourself.
Okay, so it's important to take a breath. Okay.
Yeah, take a deep breath, 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
Just try to calm yourself. Do the acupuncture. Just press on your fingers.
For those who cannot see us, because this is a podcast, on YouTube we can show.
Yeah, we can. Just press on your fingers.
The fingertips.
The fingertips. Just press it for a few minutes. Yeah, keep on pressing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Before, our grandma, when they used to face challenges or problems, or when they are traumatized from something, they start to knock on their chest.
Okay.
But knocking on the chest actually would help you, because it will open your heart and will start releasing all the fears and anxiety that you have. So you tap, you breathe.
I like that. Can we do the exercise? Okay, so
Yeah.
we tap on our heart.
Yes, on
Is
your
there
heart, on
an,
the chest. Yeah,
like,
no,
does it
tap
matter
on your
which
heart.
hand to use, or it
No,
doesn't matter?
just.
Okay, so tap on your
yeah.
heart.
For like 10 times. 10 times. And then take a deep breath.
I love that.
And this will help you relax.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
keep
also,
repeating, babbling, I'm fine, everything is happening for my own good. Out of this situation, only good will happen to me. Keep repeating it. And
Wow.
if the situation is big, keep babbling it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
keep repeating, and then you'll see everything will be clear, will be calm, and
Yeah.
everything will be, in place.
I like that. You know why? Now when you're talking, it came to my mind that every time something happens in our life, it starts so big.
So big, yeah.
So big.
It's a disaster.
Yes. And then
it's a disaster.
Like 1 day later, 2 days later, you start thinking, what the heck was I thinking? Why was I so worried?
Yes.
You know? But it's so true that everything
shouting, crying, running, you know.
So it's
Oh my God.
important.
Yeah.
That's why it's very important that when something is that big, for us to diminish its magnitude,
Yes.
taking a breath and really sitting with it and just allowing. Sometimes we face a lot of hurdles because we don't allow. We want to face and we want to, no, I will not accept this. I don't want this, and it's always something negative. I don't, I won't, I can't. It's never like, I'm here, I'm happy to receive,
Yes.
I'm happy to learn. What is the learning in
What is
all
the learning?
of this?
Yes, of
For
course.
me, as a person, as a soul, as whatever you want to think about it.
At that time, you won't see it.
Yeah, and that's why taking a deep breath is very
You
important.
need to calm down.
Yeah,
You need to calm down to take the learning,
It's nice because you mentioned, because a lot of people, when they are in this situation and when there's anxiety in place, it's not that easy to just calm down. And I've
course.
seen people having anxiety attacks in front of me, not really knowing what to do. And there is a breathing exercise that we can do for anxiety specifically if people are having
use
an anxiety attack.
Ice. Bring ice, put them on the neck. It will help you.
See, thank you, Dr. Helen. All you need to do is
for the panic attack.
Yeah, and if we don't have ice, we can always also go back to the breath. Breathing, guys.
And tapping.
And tapping.
Yeah.
See, now we
Breathing
have
and
so many
tapping.
different things that we can do.
Yes.
The
Tapping
breathing is a
fast as
very
well.
simple exercise also. It's not that complicated because,
Yeah.
and it has to be simple because we are having an anxiety attack. It cannot be something very difficult.
Yes.
It needs to be, it cannot be something difficult. It needs to be
You will not forget
simple.
to breathe because you need to breathe.
Yeah.
You cannot stop breathing.
Sometimes people, when they have anxiety attacks, they use a bag and they breathe inside the bag. But what if I don't have a bag? I can always simply breathe and count, because breath.
Yes.
When we have an anxiety attack, we are breathing very shallow, right? We breathe and we don't know what's happening.
Yes.
So just remembering. And if we don't remember, at least someone around us will remind us to just breathe slowly. And I use the
try to hold it
the count of 4. It's very easy, which is,
and try to hold it.
And then you hold also for the count of 4, and then you exhale again for the same count of 4. And this balance drops down your heart rate. It drops down your breathing to a normal breathing. And that's one way.
To stabilize you.
One way to come back from that anxiety attack to your normal breathing. But I love the ice.
You can use ice. Yes,
I love
directly
the ice
on the neck.
Nice.
Yes.
I like that.
It will help a lot.
One other thing that I like to do to remind myself of everything that I have that most of the time we forget along the way because of everything that we put ourselves through in life.
Yes.
I use a lot of Post-its. And I don't know if you remember in one of my webinars, I was telling all the guys there, guys, remember, if you don't remember, put it in front of you and read it all the time. Like for me, if I want to remember that I have the courage to say no, or I have the courage to dive within and to remember how much power I have, if I am someone who will forget all the time, I will always put it somewhere inside the house as a post-it. Like, I'm courageous.
Yes.
I am smart. I'm beautiful. I am happy. Like those affirmations.
These
And affirmations are
affirmations,
really
yes,
important, you
yes.
know. But they need to have also a mindset that goes along. It cannot be an affirmation. Like I'm saying I'm happy and I'm strong, and deep down inside I feel like I'm not. It won't work.
Fake it till you make it.
I like that.
Fake it till you make it.
And the Post-its help.
Of course, the mirror help a lot. The mirror helps a lot in the morning and before you sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You talk to yourself.
No need, just a few seconds. If you don't have time, just look into your eyes in the mirror and say, I love you. I love you, Maysoon. I love you. I love you, Helen.
I love
Say
that
it.
because
I
I
love
do it.
Yeah, I do it. I love it.
I do it all the time.
And I really love it. And you hug yourself.
Yeah.
That tight hug,
Yeah. And
When
you
you
know
need
what I
support.
also do?
Yeah.
Even when I'm not feeling okay, I talk to myself in the mirror.
Yes, I do.
And I tell myself, yes, you're not feeling okay,
Yeah.
but this is
It's
a
okay.
very important thing.
Yeah.
It's okay, and I always remind myself that this too shall pass.
pass.
Right?
Yes.
This is one thing that, for those who don't know, we as coaches, if we are going to change anything in anyone's life, this is the one thing that we never touch.
Yeah.
Which is this too shall pass, because
too
this
shall pass.
teaches us resilience, it teaches us acceptance, and it teaches us that everything that we bring into our life, we
Yes.
bring for a reason.
Of course.
And we bring to teach ourselves something, right?
Yeah.
In many cases, it could be courage. In many cases, it could be like learning how to grieve, and learning how to forget, and learning how to accept, and learning how to forgive. All these traits, they take one very important thing, and that is courage.
And you have to know how to listen to yourself, to your body, what your body needs. Don't force it.
I like that.
Just don't force it. Don't.
And that
Yeah.
also, like everything that we're talking about today, really takes courage.
Of course.
And what we want to remind ourselves, first and foremost, I would say, is that we are courageous beings.
We are.
You know, for us to be in this
Yeah.
realm, on this planet, on this earth, it took courage for us
But
to
we
come
have to
here.
believe it.
Yes.
Even God said, if you believe in it, you can do it. You
Yeah.
can move mountains.
Yes.
If you believe. You
That's
can do
true.
it, you will do it.
That's true. That's
So you
so
have
true.
to believe in yourself.
I love that.
Yeah, go back to your inner child, to your inner self. Make peace with your inner
Forgive.
self and your inner child.
Yeah.
Forgive yourself because you didn't know at that time what you know now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the more we know, the easier it becomes, I feel.
Of
right?
course. But you have to forgive yourself because you didn't know at that time.
Okay. So forgiveness is also one very important aspect.
Of course. We cannot move forward if we don't forgive.
Yeah.
It's like you're just drinking poison.
Because you stay stuck.
You stay stuck and as if you are drinking the poison and you're killing yourself.
Slowly,
Because
slowly.
slowly.
But eventually that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You're going to
Just
leave.
let go, forgive,
Okay.
and stay away. You don't have to go back to the same place and same people and same surrounding.
Yeah.
But forgive.
Yeah.
Forgive because you love yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. And I love that we finished on forgiveness, because I have also another episode about forgiveness. And it's really nice that when we talk about anything that's related to our inner self or our inner journey, there's nothing that is a stand-alone process. It feels like whatever we work on is an integration of so many different aspects of who we are, so many different virtues that we are learning. And it's not about only working on courage or only working on forgiveness. Like now
it's a bundle.
Exactly.
It's a bundle.
We come as a bundle.
Yes, of course.
I love that because, and it's fascinating because the minute we start working on any of those, as this discussion went, we went from courage to forgiveness, to acceptance, to allowance, to letting go. So everything is, it's like
it's all related,
and everything is related.
Everything is related, and you have to work on everything together and to accept. And since we're talking about forgiveness, we have the ancient prayer, Hawaiian prayer, the Ho'oponoponono.
Oh no! I always hear it.
I love it. I love it.
I love it. Can we finish this episode with that prayer? So we
this
leave
is a
our
very
audience.
strong prayer.
Okay.
That they used. The Hawaiian people started it. It says, "I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you. Thank you. I love you."
I remember.
Even though it wasn't your mistake. It's not your fault, but you have to repeat it. It's to forgive yourself, not the other person. Only to forgive yourself.
We're talking, so
about
it is a prayer that we are talking to ourselves in this prayer. So can we repeat it?
I will miraculous, actually.
I will close with it. Can we repeat it again? We'll do it together.
Yes.
So you tell me. I will repeat after you.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
And I love you.
Yes.
And if we do this, guys, I leave you with this. First of all, I want to thank Helen to start with. First, I want to thank you, then we will leave with the prayer. Thank you so much for taking the time and being my guest today. I really appreciate that.
Thank you for having me.
And I'm sure we will have more.
Sure.
I'm having this with all my guests. I feel like we can talk a lot and we can talk a lot more than this. But thank you so much for taking the time today.
Thank you, my son.
And maybe I think, you know what? I will let you close with the prayer and I will see you guys in the next episode. I will say ciao, ciao, but unlike every episode, I'm going to close with Helen today. She's going to give you the prayer for you to do every day in front of the mirror.
I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you.